At the FayWhat Show, we want to introduce you to interesting people that are so important to our LGBTQ plus community. Like this interview with my girl. I love her. Here's Jasmine Pryce Lords. Good morning and welcome to the FayWhat Show. Today, I am accompanied by none other than Fort Lauderdale's sweetheart and mine, Jasmine Pryce Lords, okay? There's so much that I could say about Jazz. She's been working in drag for almost 15 years, kicking and splitting and hosting events all over South Florida. And by kicking and splitting, I don't mean like kicking and splitting. I mean kicking and splitting some heads, stealing some crowns, doing what you gotta do to be the bearded beauty that we love and the plus-size Barbie that we adore. She is the entertainment director and a frequent performer at Hamburger Mary's. So we're going to be talking a lot about that as well. Give it up for Jasmine Pryce Lords! What? You like that? You like that?
Right? Thank you.
I love that. How long?
So special.
How long have I been trying to get your ass in bed, girl? Like forever ago.
You know, as a lady, we don't tell those secrets.
As a lady, we don't tell those secrets.
No, it's been a while we've been talking about this. I'm glad to finally be here. We've made it.
I know. And you know, let's get some things out of the way, okay? Jazz is not trans. She's not a trans woman. She is a gay man who loves her job, loves her career, and has made a living out of it and has been able to entertain so many people in doing so. I always like to get that straight, you know, because you know, he, him pronouns when you don't see her out, when you see her out of drag, you know what I mean?
Right.
Be respectful and know who you're talking to.
Right. I definitely agree. And for me, I understand my drag is confusing, especially to people who don't know. And I think education is very important. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a lot about the intent. You know, I work with a lot of venues that are straight people and, you know, they don't know how to perceive the beard and drag. And so if they're saying he and it's an honest mistake, I'm not the person that's going to bite your head off.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll educate you in that moment and we can have a conversation. But intent is key. You know when somebody's trying to be shady.
It's true. And yeah, well, where somebody's just trying to be an asshole. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Because there's always that one, you know? Do you get tired of educating people?
No.
Okay. I love that. No, and I hope that always stays the case. You know what I mean? Because for a lot of our siblings, sometimes it's just like, all right, what the F? You know what I mean? Are you going to ask me this question again? No. And I always tell people it's so important to educate folks, you know, especially in our community. And you get that platform because you're at many places that cater to a lot of straight people. Right.
And I think also drag queens have always been viewed or respected in the community as leaders and being people. So we're beacons. People come to us. People, if you're walking in a club, you're gonna see my 6-foot ass and this big ass bright wig. So if somebody doesn't know, they're gonna come and ask questions or get familiar. And I think, you know, I'm honored to be able to carry on that legacy and be educational for anybody who has questions.
You are, because what, bitch, you don't blend for nothing. You don't blend in for nothing. You can find Jazz anywhere.
Except for Mama the Eagle, you don't know it's me. She be real blended then.
Actually, it's true with the beard and everything. That's hysterical. Where do you live? You live in Dade, right?
Yes, I live in Hialeah, Miami Lakes.
Like that, like Hialeah to the max. Have you always lived there?
I was born in Overtown, so I'm from Miami, 305 boy, born and raised.
Whoop, whoop.
I turn off the hood when I'm at work, like now. Mm-hmm. But when I go back home, it's basketball shorts, tank tops, and my Jordans.
I love that.
It's very different.
Very different.
That's why I love where I work. I love what I get to do, but I don't want to shit where I eat. Mm-hmm. So I work up here, then I go far away where nobody knows Jasmine.
That makes sense, dude. See, and I'm always bitching about going to North Miami, but that makes sense. Nobody knows who the hell FayWhat is there,
Publix,
so
they
it's
don't
all
know
right.
Jasmine.
They don't know.
If I go to Publix and what's the matter is I'm sure somebody's going to stop me.
That's hysterical. But you live, okay, so Hialeah, so folks at home, if you don't know what Hialeah is, it's like where most of the Cubans are contained, okay? Like you can go to Hialeah and you cannot speak a word of English the whole entire time you're there, okay? People will look at you weird if you talk in English in Hialeah.
So I don't speak Spanish, so yes, that's true.
So, but do you speak Spanish like yourself, like with your family? None at all. Mm-mm. Like, was that something?
I learned Spanish in school, and we know like that Spanish isn't real Spanish.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only Spanish I know.
What's your background?
So I am Puerto Rican,
okay.
But I was born and raised here in Florida. The rest of my family was all in New York and stuff, so I didn't grow up around Spanish speakers.
Got it. Well, and that's the thing. Like I'm Colombian Puerto Rican, right? And I didn't learn Spanish until I was in my 20s when Univision offered me a lot of money, and I said, "Yes, bitch, I'll learn Spanish real quick. ¿Qué lo que? ¿Cómo está?" Right?
I haven't got that offer yet.
But that was my Puerto Rican side. Because like it's like such a Spanglish, it's such a New Yorker thing up north that like you just speak it and you just understand it. But it's un arroz con mango. It's like two languages all mixed up, having sex and having a great time, and only you understand it if you live there. It makes all kind of sense.
I can order food. That's about it. That's about it.
Arroz con bollo. And let's just say
That's
that
for
Boyo's
you.
not the right. Yes,
That's for
Boyo's
you.
for me. See, that bitch knows what she knows. You know, she knows what she knows.
Keywords.
She knows keywords. Okay, but let's think about all the people. Like, I have my wife is Cuban, and like we're constantly fighting about how Cubans don't really come and help the LGBTQ plus community, right? And there are a lot of them are very Republican and stuff like that. Do you encounter that in Hialeah?
Where I live, no. I mean, I've been very fortunate. I've been in the same building for about 4 years, and I've, going to work like this every day. I pass lots of family and people. I've never had an issue. I've had people who want to take pictures, ask me questions where I'm working. So I've been very fortunate.
That's awesome.
But I do understand that's probably not everybody's experience. But I'm also out of drag, 6'1", 260.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one that's easily intimidated. So I'm sure people would see me and they're half my height. They probably think twice.
But if you would ever see Jasmine as a boy in an alleyway, you'd be like, nah, bitch, not today. I ain't messing with that big bitch. No
And
way.
it's so nice,
And
but-
she's the sweetest in the world, right?
It looks scary.
No, you don't look. You look like a big Puerto Rican teddy bear. That's what
I
it is.
love that.
So you're the bearded beauty and plus size Barbie. Who named you that?
It's just as I started performing, I was always being called the plus size Barbie before I was the bearded queen, performing Athena Dion. A lot of entertainers, when I was working, they would just intro me that. And then as I started becoming a bearded entertainer, it just kind of, again, as being performing, and people just started calling you the
That
bearded
and it
beauty.
stuck,
And it
right?
stuck.
Well, and that's why
I'm not mad at it.
No, coño. I mean, it's not like they called you something ugly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that is, But you didn't start, like you just said, you didn't start drag being a bearded queen.
Correct.
So was that you just woke up one day late to Hamburger Mary's and you're like, F it, I'll paint this in, I'm good, and then it just kind of stuck?
So I had been performing already for quite some time, and my entire adult life, it's hard growing up. So I was in foster care, so I was always a workaholic. But I never went on vacation. So finally at one point I was like, you know what? I've been working for all these years. I hadn't had that time off. I've earning 4 weeks a year and I'm not using it. So I started traveling. I went to Colombia and I went to a few different places. And it was the first time in my entire life I grew a beard. So when I came back, I was like, well, let's play with, the beard, The Greatest Showman had just came out.
Yes. Oh, a perfect
so I was
timing.
so I was just trying to play around with just different types of drag. It wasn't intended to be a thing. But then I started getting people asking, hey, can you do the bearded look here? Can you, people specifically were asking for it. And then it kind of just grew into its own thing.
And became like
yeah,
you.
It became part of the
And it
brand.
became part of the brand.
I've shaved and I've gone back to it and I'm like,
have you?
I kind of missed the beard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now it's a part of you.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that say, I mean, again, and you've gone against this grain 100 million times, people who say bearded queens shouldn't win pageants. Now, mind you, recently Drag Race was won. One of Drag Races was won by a bearded queen. That and a lot of local pageants also, you included, have been breaking those freaking ceilings with that. I mean, is that just the direction that we're going? Are we being more inclusive, or is just people talking shit?
I mean, I think it's gonna be a little bit of everything, no matter where you go. Not everybody's gonna change their opinion. I like to be an advocate and show up and show out and be undeniable. If you can clock me for something that I've done wrong, then by all means, then don't let me win. But if the only thing you can say about me is that my beard was there, but everything else was flawless, cool. Like at the end of the day,
that's all you got on me.
the audience knows. So when you're gonna crown somebody, they can tell. They know what's happening.
Yeah.
So if the worst you can get from me is my beard, then
that's
I'll
it.
let my actions and my craft speak for itself.
Then you're doing your job. You're doing your job exemplary. Did you see Barbie?
Of course I did.
Did you go dressed up or did you go as you boy?
No, I went as the boy. I was out of drag. I'd been working 8 days in a row. I was we went and got a whole bunch of Chinese food before, some sushi, and then we went to watch Barbie. So it was cute.
I love
Cute
that.
little date.
At least you didn't bring the food with you, because that's what my Puerto Rican friends, they bring the arroz habichuela y carne and they bring it into the freaking movie.
I want to hang out with
and
your
they're sitting
friends.
there I'm
Wait,
serious.
I want to hang out with y'all.
So what did you think of the movie? Did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
Did you expect to enjoy it?
Okay, so little gay boy fact. I've been official Barbie collector fan club since 2006.
Shut up.
So people don't know that about me.
Oh my God,
so
how
at home,
cute.
I have the pregnant Barbie. I have all the collector. I have so many. Nobody knows that though. So as they were coming on the screen, I was getting all fangirl watching. All I have that one. I have that one. I got all the references. But also, I thought it was super cute. It's nothing too serious. I think they talked on a lot of good, important topics.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun. And just like you
Yeah.
said, sometimes you can't make everybody happy. People are
Right.
always going to have some crap to say,
Right.
But I love that you were there, counting the dolls and saying, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I went with with, we both know Kevin Clevenger from
Yes.
Blockfest, right? So he was one of the people that I went to. And you know me, Jasmine, I dressed up like Barbie to go
Right.
because I had to do it up, right? And you
Like
see,
nothing less.
and you see Kevin like counting the Barbies and going, "Hey, where's Kevin?" I didn't even know there was a Kevin Barbie. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like again, so you were there doing the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
I was like, I'll have that one, I have this one, I have that one. Yeah.
I love that.
Couldn't help it.
So Jasmine, I think I've known you now for maybe like about 2.5 years, something like that,
Something
right?
like that.
And I remember when I first met you, you still had a full-time job. Okay,
Yes.
like you still had a daytime job that you had to go to and whatever, blah, blah. And then I remember like it was yesterday, you posting that you had left that job and that you were going to give yourself 100% and give this drag thing a chance, And here we are 2 years later. And you're like, if I've got to go back to that job, I guess I will. But I don't see it happening. And
Right.
that is what your intention was.
Right.
I'm so fucking proud of you.
Thank you. I was terrified, many panic attacks between here and there, but it worked out, and I'm grateful I took that risk. And, I also was smart about it. I had a security blanket. I'd been there long enough where I had a leave of absence I was allowed to take. So that gave me the chance to, hey, let's see how this goes. And fortunate and grateful that, I haven't had to go back.
I love that. I love that.
I was there
That's
for
so
15
beautiful.
years.
Wow. Again, not an easy thing, And like people see their drag entertainers and they're like, they're making a shit ton of money. Or, like this is all they do. Or, they get to hang out all day and then just come entertain me. You don't know the half of it, okay? Most drag queens, their money that they get paid every day is spent already on the outfit and the hair and the makeup that they came into the gig with, all right?
A lot of us wear many hats. We wear many hats.
And a lot of drag queens have a side hustle, have a side gig, have another way to, make some extra cash because shit's not easy. It's just not. So you decide to do drag full time during COVID, bitch. Take that in.
Yay.
Okay, because I forgot to add that part,
That
right?
wasn't planned.
God, COVID must have been. I know it was super hard. I know it was super hard for all the drag queens. And here we are 2 years later. Do you feel like people don't even remember or even are grateful that they made it through that time?
Oh, 100%. So I remember like in the back of my mind, Trey formerly from Alibi, he recently moved. I was there the last night that they had shows before they had to close down for COVID, and he was in the back crying that he had to call every entertainer and let them know that there's no work for the next foreseeable future because they had to shut down the bars. And also as a show director, I had to have the same conversation with anybody who I've employed. So the entire time, just to be stressed about so many, like stress about yourself, but also thinking about all these people depend on me and what I do and ensuring that they have bookings and things that are coming up and not to let other people know.
Yeah.
There's no income coming in and I don't know when I'm going to be able to support you again. And I've never been in a moment with somebody and being so vulnerable with each other and just, I will always love him for that. It was the most like bare, just honest and like not in the
Vulnerable, like
office
naked,
even,
yeah.
like literally like in the back where customers could see everything. It was just this beautiful moment. But yeah, and then now, well, a lot of entertainers are like, very grateful and amazing. Some of them are so quick to be like, oh, booking fee, this, that, like,
Yeah.
we're yeah.
Like,
Let's
yeah.
be grateful.
You know
we're
what?
trying really hard to continue to grow.
I know that now, Jasmine, you're a respectable hoe.
Thank you.
And you're the main host, you're one of the main hosts over at Hamburger Mary's and even our house also when Athena's away, that bitch don't give that mic to nobody.
At all.
At all.
But she's great at it, so I understand.
No, I get it. In your early days, was there any drag queen that made you want to throw some pearls down the stairs at them?
No, I would never. No, I mean,
Did you catch that? Because I caught that.
So, I say Florida is drag like no other state, right? We have so many incredible, iconic entertainers. We have Daisy, we have Erica, we have the Teepees, who are also personable and genuine and sweet and honest with everybody and helpful. But when I was coming up, there's some people in that same caliber and that same group who were very much like wanting to protect their turf. So I learned to stand up and fight against those great people while being embraced by the amazing ones and learning how to be a professional in my later years and what not to do. So I got to grow up on both sides of both worlds.
And from the outside looking in, right, what I saw as a patron and a huge fan of yours is that you went and you were like, F it, I don't need to take your territory. I'm going to make my own space. And that's exactly what you did, I personally feel.
Thank you.
You are the entertainment director over at Hamburger Mary's. How long have you been there now?
I've been there since they've opened. So 2 years. We just did our 2-year anniversary.
So, but they opened a little bit before you signed on.
I've been there with them as a cast member since day one.
Okay.
Well, before even opening. And then they had a few months where they were like feeling things out, and then they offered me the position of entertainment director.
Okay. Because I went there before you were entertainment director, and I was never going to go back there
Yeah,
again.
it was like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, I was never going to go back there. Like Hamburger Mary's, I love you guys now, like for real. And I love Jasmine, and I'm a huge fan of Prince also.
Triller.
But before you became event director, girl. Oh my God, Hamburger Mary's, I love you now, pero coño, it was rough. It was rough. Tell me that you must have heard that from other people.
Oh yeah, I have. There was a lot going on. The manager at the moment passed away unexpectedly from COVID.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so the opening manager unexpectedly passed away. So it was a lot of like, while trying to open a new restaurant, while going through right after COVID and so many things that were happening back to back, and then losing the leader, that takes a huge hit. And then they didn't have an entertainment director. They had somebody who was, doing it remotely from another location. So they don't know the community. They don't know the entertainers. They don't know who meshes well. Like what gives, that vibe and that flair in the show. You know what girls make magic,
So, okay, but
so there's a lot of like growing pains.
So is there times that because they get amazing drag queen, drag race girls also, they have amazing entertainers all around, all right? But is there a time that somebody's coming into town and you're like, oh, this girl's not going to go well with this?
I mean, I'm very fortunate. So I've gotten to select my cast that's there now. I've had a huge hand in that. So they're all great, phenomenal entertainers. They work well with everyone. I just think variety is the spice of life.
Yes.
If I have a high-powered dance girl like Kennedy Davenport coming in, maybe I don't need to book my regular high-powered dance girl because it's going to be monotonous if you have consistently everybody doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I just try to, mix it up, but.
And you do a fantastic job of it. And let me tell you, look, again, folks, if you've never been to Hamburger Mary's, what the hell are you waiting for, But they have, something that I love is that they also have male performances, right? It's drag queens, there's male performances. One Friday a month, they have the lesbians take over. Les Chic are there.
No.
And they are killing.
Lesbians are every Friday now.
Oh, now it's every Friday?
Every
what?
single Friday.
Okay, so they were once a month and they were killing it once a month. Like, it was such a good time. And now it's every Friday at Hamburger Mary's. So, I mean, Trilla, I love that everything that's happening. And it's that inclusivity that I love,
Right.
I love that. What else was I going to ask you? There's so much to tell you. I know that you're still with the same boo, right? You've been with the same guy for a bit?
4 years, right before COVID, yeah.
You have impeccable fucking timing, don't you?
Oh my God. So we met right before COVID, started dating November 11/11. Then his lease was coming up. He was working full-time. I was working full-time and in drag. So we're never really home. Why don't, instead of signing your lease, move in here. We're not going to be around each other to kill each other, but we can still fill this out. And COVID happened. And then now we're around each other 24/7. And I didn't kill him, so I guess it's a good sign.
Yes.
We're still together. I'm not in jail.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no.
But it can't be easy to date you, though, Jasmine.
I agree.
Okay, no, good. Because I know it's not fucking easy to date me. So I can only imagine how hard it is to date you,
Yeah. I'm in drag, I'm a lot, like, it's a character. I'm turned on, it's a personality, I have to show up for work, and it is what it is. Outside of drag, I'm a little bit more chill, you see me, I'm more reserved. In the friend group, you wouldn't know I'm the drag queen in the group. I'm a lot more calm. But yeah, no, whenever we're out and about, people are always around me talking, whatever, and I'm very fortunate that he supports everything that I do, and he loves it. And he wasn't a Jasmine fan. He didn't know about any of that when we met, so he's also not from Florida.
Oh,
right.
Wow, that's a plus right there.
So, I've been very blessed, and, he's great.
I love that. You are the Florida mother of the legendary House of Lords.
I am.
Right? And I'm a huge fan of your house. TP, Calypso, Alex, Poison Ivy. Who else in the family? Who am I missing?
Sasha. Tons. Yeah.
I mean, the Lord's family, they grow and grow. They procreate a lot. Like, every single year when they make their Christmas card, that shit gets bigger and bigger. I don't understand.
Well, because we do the dysfunctional family event. So even if you're not a Lord's, like when we go to Santa's Enchanted Forest or we go to any of those events, it's open to anyone in the community.
I love that.
Because if you think about, like, wanting to go to the youth fair or Santa's or anything like that, and, you don't want to be that little gay boy in the group by yourself, or it's not necessarily the most comfortable spaces sometimes. So we always like, hey, hey, it's an open event. If you want to come hang out, just be around other gay people in this big open space. And that's why we have those big pictures with so many people. There's times I don't know who the hell they are, but they saw the post and they came in and hang out.
And that's it.
So for the night, we're having fun. We take shots and
that's it. Follow the Lord's family because they do. They'll post it and they're like, hey, we're going to go do this. Come join us.
Community event, yeah. Barbecues.
What is the difference in your role as opposed to TP's role in the Lord's family?
So basically, TP has done a phenomenal job for many years. Obviously, she's my mother. I love her. I looked up to her. She's a huge inspiration to so many of us. And I just want to continue the legacy that she's done. So also, as she's continuing to do so much and she's growing, it's an opportunity for her not to worry about what's going on so much down here. Florida is the largest chapter that we have. So allow me to take over and allow her to focus on her. And if I need support, if any of the other mothers in the other states do need something, of course we can rely on TP, but now TP's not focusing on every girl who wants to do a pageant now. Every girl who's trying to get involved in everything, now I can step up and support them and help them. And if I need something, I can go to TP. Yeah. But she doesn't have to be, I don't say burdened, but she doesn't need to overexert herself with every single person in our family when I can step in and support them and allow her to focus on her now.
Can you say honestly that you've learned stuff from TP?
Oh, 100%. I think all of us can. I mean,
because there's a certain, I'm not saying that you kids are like the Stepford women, right? But TP designed my bed, right? TP was in this bed a couple of weeks ago, right? And there's a certain delivery when she answers certain questions. It's kind of like a political person. Like you ask them a question, they're like, well, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, they're giving you the TV answer, right? And then behind it, they're like, bitch, this is what happened.
Girl, that's where the tequila and the vodka comes in. That's how you get those answers.
Are other families scared of you? Intimidated by you? Let me explain to you why, okay? Because when any of the Lord's peeps are going for a crown, right? And then all you motherfuckers show up at the pageant, right? And then they're about to get crowned and it's like, Lords, Lords, Lords. And you can hear it all over. And it's like, damn, if there's another family here, pobrecito,
Right. I would hope they're not intimidated. I hope maybe they respect us, but also we try. It goes hand in hand. I think I'm a very big advocate for us respecting everybody else in our community as well, and the other families and houses. The LePages are a phenomenal other family.
Oh my God, yeah!
Like there's so many other strong houses, but we all work together. We share the same community. We share the same workspaces, the same venues. So even when we don't always share the same name, sometimes it feels like we're all family. Like Poison Ivy is a Lord's.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't think it by the name, but at the end of the day,
she is.
We all work together. We're all family.
And you ask her, and she's like, "I'm a motherfucking Lord's." And that's what I am. Right? Let's talk about your campaign. So important. I mean, we've been talking about, we've always been talking about how important getting the vote out is, and look at all these anti-LGBTQ plus hate that's been targeted towards our community, and it's all because we freaking laxed. And many of us didn't vote when we were supposed to, but you're doing something about it. Tell us about this campaign about Drag Out the Vote.
Yes, so I'm joining Drag Out the Vote, the national campaign. Making some conference calls, getting information. I'm going to be scheduling some events at Hamburger Mary's and hopefully at Georgie's Alibi as well. So if you're not a registered voter, if you have any questions, if you want to donate, whatever it is, we're going to have different stations and setups for people. Through conversations with my cast members, so being a manager for so many years, I know how to ask probing questions to kind of not let them know that I'm interviewing them. A lot of people are just not knowledgeable about the process and how things work, and they're like, oh, my vote doesn't count, or I only vote for the president, but that's the one that has the least effect, and there's a lot of people just don't know. Right? And while I'm the person who will be on YouTube and TikTok and the black holes and researching everything, I can't help it. I've always been that person. I'm very knowledgeable on a lot of stuff. So like I said, I like to teach. I like to be involved in that. And our community right now is suffering. And for us to be in Florida with such a strong, beautiful, thriving gay community, and why are we allowing ourselves to be suppressed? How are we allowing this to happen? And I think we don't know that we have the tools, and how do we get them the tools? How do we make it accessible for them? And that's what my goal is going to be this year, continuing moving forward.
Yeah.
To make sure they're aware.
I love it. Thank you for all the educational work that you're doing. I mean, we all have to do it. And some of us are made for it and some of us aren't. Some of us just can't be bothered. And some people are just delusional, it's like, oh, my vote doesn't matter, or oh, I'm not gonna look that up, right? But if it was like for a new wig or a new pair of shoes, you'd be on that internet like white on rice trying to figure it out, right? I don't get our community right now, but more of this needs to happen, right? Because maybe you'll listen to a Jasmine over me, I don't know. I don't give a shit as long as you go out there and vote, because we are feeling it now, we are feeling it. I know you're a pet lover like I am, you know that I am, and I have to give you condolences about losing one of your babies.
Thank you.
That's not an easy thing. But can we see the tattoo maybe?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. this.
It's my baby.
It's your brown ass.
I know, right?
What are they?
So they're Chihuahua Yorkies. They're called Chorkies. They're a designer
No,
breed.
they're called asshole dogs. That's what they are. They're beautiful, but they're pains in the
I
asses.
love them. I mean, but aren't all children though?
Aren't we all, right?
You know, but I love them. They're amazing.
What are their names?
Kenny and Elphaba. Elphaba, the Wicked Witch from Wicked.
Oh.
Can you tell I'm a theater gay?
Just a little. Just a little homo.
My babies.
Just a little.
And then I just bought my boyfriend a Frenchie. So
I love that. What's his name?
Bailey.
Bailey the Frenchie. Another pain in the ass dog.
Yeah.
That can't breathe because his nose is like
It's
that.
so cute.
But they're
though.
so cute. And
But
they
he's
have-
used to me snoring, so he's used to the dog already. It's
Oh my
fine.
God, that must be like an opera for your boyfriend there. You and the Frenchie.
He's like a log though, so he's fine. He sleeps, he's out. I'm the one like, move the dog out the way. Why is there a dog in the bed?
Right? No, and I'm the one like, it's cold, baby. Pass me another dog. You know, that's me. Anything good coming up in the future that you can tell us about? You always got something, you know, and the thing with you that you're always involved in something. Like last week you had 23 events and she made it to all of them. I don't know how, you know, but like anything in the future, I mean, the holidays are coming up. There's just so much shit, right? It's hard to.
Yeah, there's so many things. I'm supposed to be going to London to do hair and makeup for a TV show. I can't
Ooh.
talk too much about who, but
Okay.
a celebrity client. I'm excited for that. I just did another project.
Are you still doing hair and makeup on the side in your no time? When do you do it? At 2 a.m? Like, I don't even know. In
It's
between
crazy.
gigs, right before you go on stage. Like, how?
Yeah, we filmed another TV show here at the beginning of July. I was gone for 2 weeks out of drag. I disappeared and I was doing hair and makeup on another celebrity. So I have a few of those that have, you know, I did one because a friend asked me to do it and people were just there watching. You never know who's paying attention. And the producer like, hey, we have another event in Florida. Can you do it? And now they're trying to travel me around and I hope to take every opportunity I can get.
Oh yeah, you could be like you see Raven's running around doing everybody's makeup and then okay, a quick drag.
Listen.
I'm ready, bitch. Pay me twice.
Listen, I love drag. I love what I do. I love performing. Nothing makes me happier than to be on stage and entertaining an audience and changing their day, their mood. That is what I've always been a passion since I was a child. But I do know that these legs ain't gonna last forever. I know I need to have a backup plan. So if doing hair and makeup is it, then cool, I'm gonna continue to work. And, you know, God forbid when I have to make that tough decision, I don't want to be putting myself in a situation because drag queens don't make, a lot of people also don't understand we don't have benefits. We don't have
you don't have healthcare.
We don't have retirement
Exactly.
funds.
So when you do that death drop,
Right.
okay, that's on your dime. Every time you see a queen do a death drop and they put their life in their own hands there,
Baby.
right? That's it.
How many times have I jumped off stages and off all kinds of crazy things I shouldn't have? And like, it's gonna catch up.
Well, and you
So
do
I have
it
a backup plan.
because you're fearless, AF, and you've got to stop that shit. I told Prince Trilla that too. You know, like Athena Dion was in his bed a couple months back, and that's why that bitch don't dance, because she don't want to hurt herself. Okay, that's why she'll do. I tell her that she does the Mariah moves.
And still, out of all of us, she was the one who was in surgery for her foot.
I know.
She was the only. I was like, wait, how does this
How
work?
did this happen? I mean, like you walk around with a bubble.
Yeah.
Whatever. Make sure that you follow Miss Jasmine Pryce Lords on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Threads, on what else are you on the Tik? You got to do it on the TikTok. Also, she's on everything. Make sure you follow Hamburger Mary's and you go see all their incredible lineup that they have all the time, you know. And when you see this show, appreciate and say, Jasmine put all this shit together. Look at this bitch. She's amazing.
Thank you.
Make sure that you follow the Lord's family also because they're always doing something fun. I mean, thank you for all you do. Thank you for shining
you.
like you shine,
Thank
Miss
you.
Jasmine. You know, we need to clone you.
No, I'm good. I'm the original. You know, it gets every time you clone it, it gets worse. You know that.
Aye, that's
the
true.
copy machine, they
like
get a
that
little
Frenchie
faded.
that you just got.
No.
Yeah, exactly. All
But
right.
thank you for all you do for us because you highlight all of us. You uplift all the queens. You've created a platform where you get to interview us and get people to see behind the wig. So thank you.
Oh, because I love you girls,
We love you
okay?
too.
Like every day when I go and do my makeup half-assed, I'm like, if I could only do this makeup like Jasmine. You know?
don't wanna do that.
So, I love you. Thank
love
you,
you, thank
Jasmine.
you.
Can you look at that camera and say, FayWhat?
FayWhat?
Yay, you did it! All right, I want to thank Jasmine Pryce Lords for being on my show today, and we will be right back. So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat show. Get the week started with me.